Good morning. How are we all doing today? Doing well? I know some of you guys just got done working out. Heart rate elevated, feeling pretty good. All right, so right now, the way I introduce myself, my name is Kyle Jorgensen. I am a personal trainer here at Snap. I want you guys to introduce yourself to somebody new, shake their hand, tell them that they're awesome for being here. Go ahead.
We already know each other.
Christina?
And that's fine.
But you're awesome for being here.
It's awesome that you're.
I think that's tremendous. That's gonna.
So this is like this is how I like to start off all my classes, just because you guys are awesome for being here. Think of all the people right now who are sleeping. Think about these empty chairs. Think about the people that could be here who would be getting this message but aren't. Okay, but you guys are here, and that's what matters. Okay, in all my classes, it doesn't matter if it's a big class, doesn't matter if it's a small class. The people who want to be here are going to be here. Okay, and that's part of the lesson that I'm going to be training on today. Okay, so the lesson that I'm going to be training on today is how your mind affects your fitness. Okay, because I know Christina comes to my morning class, but I do a Motivational Monday class in which I like to put up a motivational quote, and one of my quotes was more of like a diagram, an illustration that had train your body, train your mind, and it had two arrows going to each. It's one of those things where it interacts with both. Okay, if you train your mind, you're going to train your body. If you train your body, you're going to train your mind. So a little bit about me. The reason why I train on this so much, and the reason why I believe in this so much, is because I used to be on submarines. I used to be in the Navy. I spent 10 years in the military, and I was on submarines. We would go 3 months out, 6 months in, 3 months out, 6 months in, that kind of thing. Now, when I went underway, we don't have a gym on a submarine. Okay, we have a treadmill, some bands if you want to bring them, a bench, and a set of dumbbells, and that's it. Now, you have to get pretty creative, but I noticed that the whole submarine thing wasn't for me, so I started soul searching, like, what do I want to do, what do I want to do, what do I want to do? One day I was on watch and I was rowing the boat, and it just hit me. Maybe I should be a personal trainer, because I do have a background in fitness. I've been training for years, so I have the practical knowledge, but I didn't have any book knowledge. But my point about the whole submarine thing is that it wasn't necessarily the knowledge that carried me through that. It was my mindset. It was literally my mindset. That was the only thing that got me through that time. There were certain things that I did, and I'll get to that here in a little bit, but there are things that I had to get creative with. Like with the whole bands and stuff like that. I never had any band training whatsoever. But I have trained others on bands here just because I got really creative on a submarine. Okay? So right now I want all of you guys to close your eyes. Okay? And I want you guys to envision a white room. Just a white room. White ceiling, white floor, white walls. I want you to think about a goal that you've been working on, or a goal you haven't been working on, maybe a goal that you've set off and haven't worked on it yet. Okay? It can be an object. This goal can be an object. Okay? And I want you to take very careful note of where it is. Now open your eyes. Okay? Now the reason why I do this exercise is because it's really interesting. I did this exercise a while back, and my personal goal 2 years ago was to be a personal trainer going to Wazoo. Here I am. Now, the reason why I like this exercise so much is because when I did this exercise, I closed my eyes, and as soon as I envisioned my goal was right in front of me. It was literally right in front of me. Now, the thing is where is it in proximity to you? Here's the thing. If it's anywhere in front of you, you have control over it. If it's anywhere behind you, sometimes to the side, you don't necessarily have control over it. Now, wherever you're looking at, whichever direction it is, determines how determined you are to go for it. Okay, mine was right in front of me. I was in the process of working on mine anyways, and that's why mine was right in front of me. It was right there. I was going to grab it. I was going to reach out and grab it. So now I want you to think about where your goal was in proximity to you. Were you in the direction of it? Was there no goal? If there was no goal, try to work on that goal. And then later close your eyes and somebody says, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm imagining white walls, and they think you're crazy. Be like, yeah, but at least I have a goal in my white wall room. So, what I want to get to is the fact that we're bound by our experiences, okay, and our perception of them. I want to tell a little bit of, through my speech, I'm going to mention a couple of stories. So I was in class, and my teacher looked at one of her students And she was like, all right, so I want you to do this. I'm going to use you as an example. Her face went cold. And she was terrified. She was like, you're going to use me as an example. And I cracked up a bit because I saw this happen in real time. And she looked at me and she's like, oh, it's okay, you're going to be next. And I was like, oh, okay. What was the difference? It was the same situation. She put us in the exact same situation. She said she was going to use her as an example. She was going to use me as an example. What was the difference there? Why did she go cold, but I didn't? That's rhetorical. Experience. It was all experience, okay? It later came to light that this girl, she had a really bad run-in with her high school PT ed teacher. So he used to use her as an example a lot and used to cut her down. That's why her face went cold. But me, I'm 27, I have a little bit more experience. Teacher uses me as an example all the time now because I'm the only one who doesn't get embarrassed. Like, she can do anything and I just don't get embarrassed. It's just, maybe it's a submariner in me, I don't know. There's not much I haven't done. So the body follows the mind. It is not the other way around, okay? I want you to think about that for a second. The body follows the mind. All right, if I crouch down right now, probably can't see me in the camera. If I crouch down right now, but I want to get up, did my body first say it was going to stand up? No, it was my mind telling me that I was going to stand up. And that's just a very, very small point, okay? Now this philosophy and this concept bleeds into everything that you do. Okay, so if you have a goal, what comes first? Acting on that goal or thinking about acting on that goal? Think about that, okay? So perception is everything, and we have that in the military too. It's one of those things where they say perception is reality. They say it for a different reason, but the way that I like to say it is perception is reality, and the fact that it is the linchpin of change, okay? It is literally what will change your entire world. There's a tribe in Africa that perceive birth and death as opposites. They perceive death as a beautiful thing and birth as the hideous thing. And I will tell you why. Stay with me. So they perceive birth as a bad thing because they believe that if you were born into this world, that you did something that the gods didn't approve of, and here is your punishment, to live on earth. And they believe that death is a good thing because then you have served your time and the gods find you worthy of coming back. Now that may seem a little weird to us, but why does that seem weird to us? Neither way is wrong, is it? Who's to say that their way is wrong? Who's to say that our way is wrong? It's perception. Okay, perception is everything. I could say something up here that could be offensive to some. I could say something here that other people, they would click with right away. What's the difference? Perception. Perception is everything, okay? So the way that you change your perception, think about the way that you can change your perception. I'm going, so that you keep on moving your arm, your head. I'm keeping you awake. So ways that we change perception, okay? There are ways that you can change your unconscious mind. So if I were to give you an illustration of your conscious versus your unconscious mind, I would say an iceberg, okay? What's sticking out of the water is your conscious mind. What's under the water, bigger, is your unconscious mind, okay? But there are ways to change this. I'm going to give you another illustration. A lot of people say that you plant seeds, you plant seeds, you plant seeds. You plant a seed to make you do something well. You plant a seed to make you do this or to make you do that. What if I told you that planting seeds isn't the way to go about it? Now I'm going to plant a seed by telling you this, okay? But the quality of the soil is going to determine whether or not it sinks in, okay? It's not the seeds that you plant, it's the quality of the soil. If you have soil that's filled with nutrients, seeds are going to grow better, right? So think of your mind as the soil. Okay? You need to nurture the soil. The soil is not going to grow nutrients by itself. You have to take charge. You have to do something. You have to make the effort. Okay? Now, a lot of people sit there and they say, you know, memes. Memes are a way of planting seeds. But here's the thing. If the student isn't ready, the teacher's not going to be there. I can stand up here and I can preach anything all day. If you guys aren't ready to hear this, nothing's going to sink into the soil. So think about that, okay? So all these memes everywhere, memes this, memes that, you know, do well, sink or swim, that kind of thing. And then people just think that you just succeed. That is not the way it works, okay? Success comes slowly. You have to be patient, okay? Now I want you to close your eyes again. And I want you to think about your goal, okay? I want you to think about your goal one more time. Now open your eyes. Did anything change? Did the position of your goal change? Any hands? Anybody want to answer? Yes?
It got a lot closer.
It got a lot closer. What is the difference? What is the difference between what we did now and what we did before? Knowledge, okay? Knowledge of the situation, the fact that you already did it, okay? Now, I didn't necessarily change her unconscious mind in a way I did, but I changed her conscious mind. Now, she unconsciously thought of it as closer. So I changed her conscious mind to change her unconscious mind. There are ways to change your unconscious mind. There are also ways that you can manually do it. You can mess with your brain to think of a way to change your habits. Like, if I need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not a morning person, okay? Yeah, you set alarms. Most people set 4, 5, 6 alarms, depending on how much of a morning person you are. You can always tell how much of a morning person someone is by how many alarms they have to set in the morning. But there's a way that you can take your alarm, put it across the room, okay? And then you fall asleep, you wake up, and the sound is so annoying, you have to run across the room and grab it. Next thing you know, you're up. Now, what did you just do? You changed your conscious habits to change your unconscious mind. Interesting. So like I said, changing these things is not immediate. You have to work on these things day in and day out. These are just like you want to train your body, right? Well, if you stop for 2 months, what's going to happen? Dystrophy. You're going to lose fitness. Endurance fitness goes by faster than muscular fitness. Okay, well, same thing with your mind. If you don't constantly train your mind, it's going to go away. And that was very prevalent when I was on submarines because I had my little routine. Let me tell you something. When you want to get out of the military, they don't just let you out. You have to finish out a contract. And the hardest thing for me to do, literally, in my entire life since birth till now, the hardest thing I've ever had to do was wait out 2 years in the military. Because I knew where I wanted to be. I knew the things I wanted to do. So, at first, I was very disgruntled, and I was like, well, this sucks. 2 years in the military. I have to finish out 2 years in the military, and then I can do what I want to do. Well, I started soul searching a little bit, and I realized, you know what, that's not necessarily true. What if there are steps that I can take now? Which leads me to my next point. You don't always have to wait for the perfect circumstance. If you were to wait for the perfect circumstance, chances are you're not going to do it. Does anybody have a goal that they've put off because of, say, kids or husband, or their lifestyle just doesn't fit it, or they don't have time? Anybody? Raise hands. Does anybody have one?
Well, kind of. I'm going back to get more education.
Okay.
Because I only have an associate's degree, so to get a bachelor's degree.
Okay, now if you don't mind me asking, you can not answer if you want to. What stopped you? What stopped you? What stopped you, and what made you hold it off?
Just family and too much going on. And now the kids are gone, so I could do it.
Okay. So now I wanna. That's an awesome story. That's great, and I love that you stepped up. Thank you for that. Does anybody else have one?
I want to travel abroad.
You want to travel abroad, and what kept you?
Work, time.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I like it when, it's really interesting when I ask this. Like, I can tell the people who want to tell me because they're looking at me dead in the eyes. And the people who don't want to tell me, who have that goal that they didn't start on because of issues, I can tell that they still have one because I look at them and they look away. They're like, no, don't look at me. I don't want to say mine. Usually because it's it tends to be a little bit of an embarrassment, okay? Because I kind of exposed you a little bit. I kind of exposed who you were as a person just a little bit. Kind of made you have to reflect on your life choices. A lot of people don't like to look at them, okay? But I did notice. Did you notice a common similarity between you two? Time. Time and this got in the way, that got in the way. What if I told you that when you say that you don't have time, what you're really saying is that you don't have time for that? What if I told you that there's no such thing as busy? It's just priorities. What if I told you that if you really wanted to do this, you would have done it? You said family, right? Family is what kept you from traveling abroad?
Probably Debbie said.
Oh, I said family.
Oh, okay.
For me, it's more work.
Okay, so work,
Work and family.
work, family, time, these things. Now, I'm not saying you should, okay? Don't quote me on this. What if you gave up your family? What if you gave up your time? What if you gave up your job? You could travel abroad. You could go back to college. But priorities, okay? What is most important to you? My point is, if you want to do this, you're going to do this, okay? 2 years ago, when I was on submarines, and I was hating life, and I'm not saying that submarines are a bad thing, it just wasn't for me anymore, because I knew where I wanted to be. When you know that there's another place that you want to be, boy, let me tell you, it's kind of like if I were to say, all right, now I want you guys to come in here, but I'm not going to tell you how long you're going to be in here for. How many of you guys would still be here? Probably, yeah, she's shaking her head over here. She's like, oh, no, I would not be in here. But if I come in here and I say, we're going to talk about this, this, and this, and you're going to be in here for this amount of time. Once you have a goal, it's within our nature to go for that goal. And that's why 2 years in the military, having to wait it out, was like the worst thing in the world for me. But 2 years ago, I said I was going to be a personal trainer, and I was coming to Wazoo. I started on that goal, and I started on it every single day. Every single day, if you have a goal, and if you don't have a goal, I highly recommend you find one. Okay, and that's not going to come passively. Sometimes people get epiphanies. Most of the time, they don't. I was lucky. In that sense, I love the military, because I had enough time to soul search, to find my passion. I did nothing for 6 hours at a time, standing watch. All I did was walk around a submarine, and that's it. So I had time to think about things that I wanted to do. Okay? Now, kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. Kind of went off on a tangent. But, oh yeah, that's where I was. If you want to do something, you're going to do it. You're driven by your nature. Okay? You're driven by your mind. Now, if there's something that you want to do, but you're not doing it, then there's something in your unconscious mind that's preventing it. Like, I guarantee you, you consciously loved your family, but unconsciously there was a part of your brain that said, I don't want to work on my goal because of my family, because I put them first. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with different priorities. There's nothing wrong with putting this priority first or that priority first. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's all up to you. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine your goal. Think about your goal. And open your eyes. Did it change? Did it change for anybody else?
I have 2 goals.
Oh, now you have 2 goals. We have 2 goals now. That's awesome. But what changed? Knowledge. I was talking to your conscious mind to train your unconscious mind. Now, how does this tie in with fitness? Okay? Because we're all, let's be honest, we're in a gym. My shirt does say Snap Fitness on it, so I shouldn't just talk about mind. I should talk about fitness as well. All of this is integrated into fitness. All of it. So, the reason why I say that is because fitness, your fitness, is the most basic form of control you have. If you try to think of something that's a little bit more basic that you have control over, by all means, go ahead. Fitness is the easiest form of gaining confidence, because it is 100% in your control. 100%. And once you start gaining that confidence, say you come to the gym once, you make a positive change for the better for your life, day 1, then day 2, then it starts snowballing, and it just starts collecting and collecting and collecting and collecting. This snowball is your ball of confidence. Okay? And as it gets bigger, it's going to start bleeding off into other things. Maybe I can travel abroad. Maybe I can go back to school. And that's what's awesome about fitness, is that it builds up that confidence. It builds up the, if I can do this, what else can I do? It's almost like a tree, and fitness is the trunk. And once it starts bleeding off, all those little branches are other places of your life. And I'm not just saying family, traveling abroad, college, anything, any other goal you could possibly have. Maybe you want to be a morning person. Maybe you've never been a morning person your entire life, and maybe you want to. You're one of those people who doesn't think the world exists before 5 a.m. You would just walk out of your door and just fall straight down because it just doesn't exist. The world doesn't render until 7 a.m. Okay? So, what can you do to change it? What are other things that you can do to change it? We already mentioned some. Okay? Has anybody ever heard of a mantra? A mantra? Got one? You've heard of it? So pretty much everybody's heard of it. Can anybody tell me what it is? Taryn.
It's something that you tell yourself when you're, like for me, when I'm in the gym, my mantra is either you think you can or you think you can, either way you're right.
Okay.
That's my mantra. And so like when I'm lifting weights and I'm like going heavy, I always tell myself like you can, you can, you can. So it's just like that quote, motivational quote kind of thing they say in your head. That's the best I can explain that.
No, that's good. That's good. Did everybody hear her? Does everybody have a pretty decent understanding? So, in a nutshell, what she was saying is it's something that you tell yourself in times of trouble. What if I told you that you could also tell yourself it in times of not trouble? A mantra is something that you keep with you. But in achieving your goals, a lot of people say that it has to be written down. It has to be time specific. And it has to be realistic in order for you to achieve these. And if you do that, chances are you're going to achieve them. So rather than just saying your mantra, Taryn, do you write down your mantra or you just say it?
Right now.
So she writes it down. Highly recommend it. When I was on a submarine, one of the things that got me through every single day waking up on a submarine, every single day, I would have to look at my mantra. And my mantra then was, get your mindset, confidence will lead you on. Once you get your mind set, you'll achieve anything you want to. And there's some things that will occur outside of your control, but we'll get to that later. Watching YouTube videos. Who here watches motivating YouTube videos? Taryn again. Taryn, like, do I teach you things? Like, what is this? Yeah, this is all me. This is all me.
Yeah.
So YouTube videos. Technology is amazing when it comes to resources. You guys have so many resources, it's not even funny. We have more resources now than ever. When was the last time somebody picked up a phone book?
Yesterday. Was in the door.
All right, you got me. All right, you got me. Why did you pick it up yesterday?
I had to look a number up.
Interesting.
I'm quicker in the phone book than I am on the website.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. So
It's a generation thing, but it's okay.
yep. No, you're absolutely not wrong.
I can look it up on the website, but the book's right there. Boom, I got it.
Yeah.
Instead of wait for the computer and wait for the little wheel to go around and around and around.
Yeah, waiting for
And
those.
get to the
loading times.
wrong website. So hey, I got it. By the
Okay,
time.
you're tearing down what I'm about to say.
No, I
You keep on going on and on. No, it's fine. It's all good. So who here has a cell phone? Smartphone? Okay, everybody, right? Do you have a smartphone?
Somewhere.
Somewhere? It's a generation thing. All right, so I want you to think about who here has a sister? Christina, do you, yes?
I can't process what you're saying because you're speaking faster than I can process.
Okay, I will speak slower then. I am a
Just-
fast speaker. I'm a very fast speaker. Mainly,
I know it's a generational thing.
It's
so
a
that's-
generation
It's
thing.
a generation.
yes,
thing.
absolutely. Christina,
Wow.
do you know your sister's phone number by heart?
My phone knows.
programmed into your phone, right? So this whole technology thing, okay? This whole technology thing is amazing. We're abundant. We are so abundant in technology, it's ridiculous. We have these things, well, I have these things that I watch, YouTube videos, all the time. The motivating YouTube videos. You'd be so surprised at how much that helps. Now, I'm not saying that every single YouTube video is going to resonate with you, because they don't. Some of them fizzle out with me within 5 minutes, but there are 1 or 2 or 3 that have really stuck with me. Okay. Next, who in here keeps a journal? Okay.
When I travel.
Okay. Why don't you keep a journal any other time? Why only when you travel?
My life is pretty predictable. I can predict what's going to happen unless I make a real concerted effort to change it significantly.
Okay. Okay. So keeping a journal, remember what I said, writing down, realistic, time sensitive. Once you write these things down, once you start writing down how you're feeling each day. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to like, you guys should have a journal. You guys should be writing it down. I don't have a little couch that somebody's just, these are my problems. But what I'm saying is that keeping a journal, writing down how you feel, and then don't just put it down, review it. After a while, review it, and you'll start noticing trends. This is how I've been feeling when this happens. This is how I felt when this happened. And then you'll start noticing, when am I most negative? When am I most positive? When do I feel like this? When do I feel like that? Once you start noticing these trends is when you're going to be able to make a change. Okay? Does anybody in here meditate? Okay? So meditating is one of those things where it's you collect your thoughts. Okay? I've done it before. I go for walks all the time. Walk through a park, maybe with a loved one, maybe by yourself, taking in nature, thinking about other things other than your busy life. Okay? But remember, we're not busy. It's all priorities.
You know, when you say that, though, there's a lot of different ways to get the same result without calling it meditation.
Like how?
Well, I go ride my horse.
Yep.
And so it's not doing the meditation. It doesn't meet the definition of meditation, but the end result is the same.
And I'm so glad you said that. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have any other activities that they do that they can think and not be consumed by their busy life? Taryn?
I drive a lot.
You drive a lot.
I drive, yeah.
Some people go for drives. That's very common. Thank you so much for bringing that up. That's perfect. That takes me to another point.
I like to walk on the treadmill with no music and not watching TV, because I can just think.
With no music and no TV.
Right.
Wow, interesting. Most people get bored at that, but that's awesome. But that's what I'm talking about. Take yourself out of your life. Just for a second, take yourself out of your life and see what happens. You'd be amazed at what you think of. You'd be amazed at how creative you are. You'd be amazed at the new goals that you have. And the best part about this is that there's no age limit. You can start this at any time. Chances are, I'm guessing, just putting it out there, 100% of you woke up with a pulse this morning, right? There's still time. You guys have plenty of time. And the quicker you start on these goals, the faster you're going to start living. They say that fear of death follows the fear of life, meaning the more you live, the less you're going to fear death, because you're going to live a more full life. And that's what life is all about, right? Fall in love with as many things as possible. I love to do new things. Last year I went skydiving. Not because I was really excited to do it. I was actually pretty scared to do it. I mean, who wouldn't be scared to go try skydiving? I started on motorcycling. I started on the piano just last year. Fall in love with as many things as possible. This is how you start living, is by falling in love with things. Falling in love with your body. Falling in love with the very first thing, fitness. Once you fall in love with fitness, once you fall in love with these good choices that lead to a better lifestyle, you're going to start noticing that these things are going to start trickling into everything else. So my mantra now remember, what were our ways of changing our perception? Anybody?
Knowledge.
Knowledge is one of them. So you have mantras, YouTube videos, journals, and meditation. My meditation technique is drawing. I'm an artist. I love drawing, and when I'm drawing, I'm centered. Which is why I was so glad that you brought that up. Because I love drawing, it centers me. So my phrase now, my mantra now, is I'm down, but I'm not out. So whenever something good happens, I'm still down, but I'm not out, meaning I can still go up. It doesn't matter where I am, I can still go up. When I'm down, but I'm not out. To be defeated is a choice. To be defeated is perception. Once you change this perception is when you're going to start changing your unconscious mind. And next thing you know, somebody's going to cut you off driving, and rather than getting mad, you're going to say, oh, well, at least I didn't die. You know, perception is a choice. So why don't people change their perception? Why do some people just seem, they have a phrase, they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why don't people change? Anybody?
They don't give themselves the power to change.
Okay, they don't give themselves the power to change. Absolutely. Anybody else?
Rut.
A rut. You said that like the Family Feud. You're like, a rut? Is it up on the board? It is. A rut. Absolutely. Taryn.
They don't think they can.
They don't think they can. Absolutely. But why don't they think they can? That's rhetorical. Don't worry about it. 9 times out of 10, they're probably looking at the big picture rather than taking the first step. What is the hardest step in any journey? The first. Nailed it. It's up on the board. Absolutely. The first step in any journey is the hardest. Once you make that step, everything just seems to fall into place. Okay, but yet still people do not do it. It's so easy. Everything is so easy. You make the choice. If it's good, you stick with it. If it's bad, you learn from it. Then you go and make the next right choice. And the chances of the next one being the right choice are higher than before. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little story. So one of my shipmates, one of the guys I was in the military with, he was putting on his boots. And I was having a chat with him. I already made my decision to get out, and I was already starting to get into this whole mindset and everything like that. And he was telling me, he's like, I just got to ride out the next 6 years of my life, man, so I can get this retirement from the military. And I was like, isn't that kind of contradictory? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, the phrase that's like right above your head. There was a plaque right above his head while he was putting on his boots that said, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And he looks up at it and pauses because he knows where I'm going with this. I was like, isn't that a little contradictory that you're waiting out the next 6 years of your life? And he said, you know what? I didn't buy that plaque. Who cares? Think about that. Just think about that for a second. Why don't people change? I asked him, I was like, do you have any goals? Do you have any dreams and ambitions? And you know what he told me? I did, but I had a family and bought a new car and I just had a kid. Those were his excuses. Those were his things. Now, I had priorities before I got out of the military. And I have sacrificed a lot to get to where I am. And that's what it takes. You have to look at your life and say, do you accept this or do you not accept this? And if you do not accept this, find a way to change. But if you do accept it, congratulations, you love your life. So what are some of the other reasons why people don't take action, why people don't change their perception? It takes no energy. That shipmate that I was just talking about, it takes no energy for him to change his life. He goes to a 9-to-5 job every single day. He's been doing it for years, so he does it pretty much unconsciously. He stays in his unconscious mind. Okay, it takes absolutely no energy to get up and do things. It takes absolutely no energy to stay down on the ground. Okay, which is a rut. So a lot of people like to focus on right now. They don't like to look at the big picture. Or sometimes they do look at the big picture and it's too much. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want to change. But here's the thing. I saw a meme the other day, planting a seed. Hopefully your soil's a little bit more nutrient dense now. I saw a meme the other day that said, if we're going to die soon, which, let's be honest, 100 years isn't that long. If we're going to die soon, why aren't we running towards our goals like we're lit on fire? Why aren't we? Why aren't we trying to make a change? Why aren't we trying to make a change today? And this is why I thank every single person who comes to my class and says, and I say thank you. Thank you for making a positive change in your life. Today, you guys did it. Nobody else. Everybody else out there is not doing it. Now there's reasons, you know, that some people have family commitments, some people weren't able to make it today. That's why we're filming. But where is it going?
YouTube!
YouTube! It's going on YouTube. So anybody who's not here can do it. They don't have an excuse. They don't. I'm pretty sure they have internet. What's another reason? They listen to their emotions. When people get done from work, what are they thinking to themselves? I'm not going to the gym because I'm tired. I'm not going to the gym because my emotions say so. So I'm not going to the gym. Now, if you were to tell that person, that very person who says that, if you were to say, hey, you're going to die in 12 hours, chances are they wouldn't go to the gym. But my point is, they would probably take action. But what's the difference? What's the difference between knowing and not knowing? They say that knowledge is power, right? But I just changed the conscious mind to give them a limitation, so all of a sudden, boom. Well, I have news for you. This limitation is always there. I could get in my car and knock on something. Wouldn't, I'm not seeing anything. So there you go. I could get in my car and I could die today. The limitation is still there, no matter what you do, where you go, how you live. Your limitation is always there. So why aren't you always consciously going towards a goal? Okay? Emotions. We are emotional. We as humans are emotional, but you have to take those emotions and use them. They say that breakups make bodybuilders. Why? Why is it once we break up, we feel the need to get in shape? Why once we break up, do we feel the need to be better? Think about it. Emotions. Our emotions can change us, but what if you can harness that? What if you can take that, and rather than having to be broken up with, you just take it and use it? What if you were to say, well, I did get broken up with today, but I'm still going to improve myself. And how do you do that? You be grateful for the now. Once you're grateful, you're rich. Think about a puppy. And I don't like to talk about this. I hate this example. What if that puppy loses a leg? How happy is it that it's still alive? It lost a leg. Now what if one of you guys lost a leg? Or what if, do you guys know somebody, if had they lost a leg, they'd be all down in the dumps thinking to themselves, well, now what do I have? Now life is completely over for me because I can't do this, I can't do that, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. How about what you still can do? You can do this, you can do that. I saw a handicapped person ride in the MotoGP. Riding a motorcycle. He was handicapped from the waist down. Do you think he was focused on things that he can't do? Absolutely not. He was focused on things he can do. But you guys aren't handicapped. you guys are still good. So think about everything that you have to be grateful for today. Okay? Tony Robbins. Has anybody here heard of Tony Robbins? He's an awesome motivational speaker. Got one. Tony Robbins is amazing. I love that guy. He puts everything into perspective. And one of the reasons why people don't change their perception, they make excuses. And like he says, you know, I've tried millions of things. All right, well then name them. All right, well I tried hundreds of thousands of things. All right, name them. All right, well I tried thousands of things. All right, name them. Okay, well these 3 things that I keep on doing are not working. Notice what just happened. You're making these excuses. Okay? Change your approach. Like he says, change your approach. If something's not working, change your approach. If you succeed, awesome. If you don't, change your approach. Okay? So I want to remind you guys that you guys are in control of everything. Accountability. It's called accountability. You are responsible for you. Nobody else has to wake up with you except for you. Every single day of your life. It's all about accountability, okay? So don't do it for anybody else. Remember who you're doing it for. But in the same sense, keep your goals in mind and remind yourself why you're doing this. Okay, remind yourself why you're trying to change. So Tony Robbins also says, make your goals less about you and more about the beauty of life. Remember how I said, fall in love with as many things as possible? I didn't go skydiving because I wanted to. Playing the piano is kind of tedious and it takes a lot of time, but I still do it. I'm not doing it for what I get out of it. I'm doing it for who I become. I'm doing it out of the beauty of life. The fact that you're alive. Every single day you guys are alive. Think about that. It's beautiful. You guys can do anything in your life that you want to. And I don't want to, get all patriotic and everything, but we are in America, the land of opportunity. We are in great abundance here. And yet people still take it for granted. Rather than getting too negative in this presentation, because I don't like doing that, does anybody know why we take these things for granted? Anybody?
We've always had them.
We've always had them. Exactly. We're spoiled. We are so spoiled by our smartphones and by everything else that we have that we just focus on our little problems. How about you take everything that you have and start building a foundation that will build an even bigger building? How about that? So I want you guys to be less negative. I want you guys to consciously look at what you think about yourself. Okay, because that is a massive puzzle piece to this huge illustration called life. Another story. I was in class and we were doing regular just squats. And I was like, so we had to pair up and we had to do squats with a partner. And my partner told me, all right, well, hold on, because I really suck at these. And I was like, no, don't say that. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, don't be so negative about yourself. Constantly reinforce positive things about you. Because how you feel about yourself is your internal environment. Your internal environment is going to change everything. It's going to give you a different outlook on life. Okay? So be less critical about yourself. I had somebody in my class. She was doing speed skaters, and she was jumping. And I was like, I'll bet you can't jump all the way over here. And she's like, no, because I suck. And I'm like, no, you don't suck. And it's not the fact that you can't do something. Perception. You can either choose to say that you suck at that, or you can say, I have room to improve. What did I just do? I took a negative and turned it into an opportunity. Now you snatch this opportunity, you take this time to improve, you take that, and you run with it. And you could possibly get something that you could never have imagined. Last story, so I was in the gym 2 nights ago, and this girl comes up to me and she says, hey, So I need to know how to tone right here. And I was like, well, you're not unfit, you're not overweight. Why did you really come to me? Why do people come to personal trainers? Why do people go to fitness professionals? It's not always necessarily the fact that they want to get in shape. A lot of times, there are underlying reasons. And they think that, well, if I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to be more valuable. Or if I do this, I'm going to be more valuable. They've halfway made that association between fitness, the confidence in fitness, and the confidence in everything else. So if you find those underlying reasons, those reasons in your subconscious mind, once you determine what they are, that's when you can go for them. So, like I said, it's not about what you get, it's about what you become. And what you can give, like Tony Robbins says, what you can give because you become more. Progress equals happiness. Okay? So maintain an open mind. The girl who came up to me said that she had issues and that she needed toning. No, she didn't. Found out later, she was trying to get in shape for her boyfriend because her boyfriend just dumped her. And she wanted him back. There are underlying reasons. So her and I had a 45-minute discussion. A 45-minute discussion about what else she can do for her mind rather than just working out. And I completely blew her mind. And she was like, how much do you charge for personal training? Because I want to pay for this. I was like, don't even worry about it. I love what I do. I got out of the military because I love what I do. I love touching people's lives. I love opening up their mind. I love making them think a little bit differently about the choices that they make. And not because their choices are wrong, but because there's more that you can do with life than what you realize. So like I said, actually close your eyes. And I want you guys to think about a goal. And open your eyes. Did anything change?
The color of the room keeps on changing.
The color of the room keeps changing? Well, that just means you're a colorful person. You have a colorful personality. And you're creative. You can interpret that a million different ways. A lot of people say, actually, let's go ahead and do it. Why not? I got time. I know I don't have time, but I do have time. Are you going to kick me out? You can kick me out if you want.
Yep.
No. Does anybody else want to kick me out? Who's having fun? Are we having fun? Are we learning something? So go ahead and close your eyes. You're in the white or colorful room. And there's a cube. This cube is made of something. And open your eyes. What was your cube made out of?
Plastic.
What was your cube made out of?
Special form.
What was your cube made out of?
Plastic.
So, now there's millions of ways that you can interpret this. But this is a psychological test, basically saying how you feel about yourself. Now close your eyes. The only thing you're thinking about is the cube. And open your eyes. How big was your cube?
It's a Rubik's Cube.
Oh, it was a Rubik's Cube. You're complex.
And it's yellow and blue and red. Those are the colors.
Oh, wow. How big was your cube?
Mine was a bench kind of thing.
It was a what?
Bench.
It was a bench?
Yeah.
Your cube was a bench?
Well, like a bed. Yeah.
You're creative. What was yours?
It was like flip in every which way.
Okay. So that describes your confidence. When I did this test, my cube was huge. And it was made out of metal. Now what that means, I don't know. I'm ironclad.
Iron submarines.
Iron submarines, don't put that in there. No, I'm not all about submarines. All right, so in conclusion, okay, Think about your goals. Think about something that you want to do. Tie fitness into it. Start by coming to the gym. Let it start snowballing effect. You are most free in your life when you A, stop taking things personally, and B, what is B? And B, when you stop thinking about what things should be and just accept them for what they are. When you start realizing that you can control your reaction and your perception, when you start realizing that you have control over your subconscious mind by controlling your conscious mind, your goals are completely attainable. We put people on the moon. Don't tell me you can't go to college. Don't tell me you can't travel abroad. Don't tell me you can't write a book. We can do anything. That's the beauty of the human spirit. We have the capability to be something that we're not. A dog can only be a dog. A bird can only be a bird. The human spirit has the power to be anything. You guys have the power to be anything. Okay, so I want you to think about the fact that when somebody says, well, you can't accomplish your goals because you don't have enough willpower, or you don't have this, or you don't have that. I want to tell every single one of you that you do have it. It is inside of you right now, sitting in this room. You have the willpower to go abroad. You have the willpower to go to college. You have the willpower to do anything. Because your room is colorful. And it's beautiful. So as you guys go about your day today, I want you to think about your goal. And if you don't have one, think of one. And if nothing else, just get the ball rolling. Just start something new. Who in here ever wanted to play an instrument that they never got around to? What is it?
Violin.
The violin. Stop putting these goals off. Do it. Because once you do it, you're going to become more. It all starts with fitness and it just rolls downhill from there. But you can start anywhere. Okay? So take your goals, take your aspirations as you leave today. Create a mantra. Start writing in a journal. Start watching YouTube videos. And like Tony Robbins said, make them less about you and more about the beauty of life, because you guys are alive. I achieved my goals 2 years ago. Personal trainer, wazoo. It's happening. And that's what I would tell everybody. It's happening. And it happened. My name is Kyle Jorgensen, and I believe in fitness. Thank you. All right, I'll turn the camera on.